And because, again, of this craton handle, my hand isn't experiencing a lot of fatigue. It's also a relatively skinny handle as well, and for my medium-sized hand, it feels great. Good morning, YouTube. This is the next installment of my Tree of Truth test, and so this is actually going to be the Semi Trailmaster by Cold Steel. Let's go ahead and get started. I want to put it in its sheath. Now I want to prove to you that it's slicing paper reliably. Good job. So now what I'm going to do is put on my 1-minute timer and chop on this piece of wood for 1 minute. Alright, so the first thing I want to say is that after doing a lot of these tests, I'm really appreciating Cold Steel's craton handles. They absorb a lot of shock when you're chopping, and I really appreciate that. The edge has some gunk on it. It feels good. Let's see if it's still cutting paper reliably. I can tell there's a bit more resistance, but that edge seems really good. Let's put on another 30-second blast. Handle still feels solid. From the appearance, the edge still looks good. And because again of this craton handle, my hand isn't experiencing a lot of fatigue. It's also a relatively skinny handle as well, and for my medium-sized hand, it feels great. Okay, at the point of percussion, which for this buoy is right about in here, the edge is really starting to degrade. If you speed up the cut, it's definitely going to reliably cut paper. Let me get a fresh piece of paper out. So if you slow down the cut, you're going to start to catch where the blade is really deforming. I'm going to go ahead and give it another 30 seconds. That's another 30 seconds. The edge is still doing very well. Just a small story about this blade. I watched all the proof videos and I decided to try to use this as a cleaver for a deer leg. It did not work out so well. It put a huge chip in the blade. So far what I'm seeing with these tests is that the modern stainless steels, including the 4034 Kukri, they're doing very good on wood. Okay, so there is a couple snags, but this is reliably cutting paper. I want to go ahead and give it another 30 seconds. Well, like I say, I'm really impressed with this Trailmaster. This wood that I'm chopping into right now is very hard compared to this stuff over here that's really starting to rot out. But that's a really hard wood right there. Some parts of the blade are still very sharp. I want to go ahead and give it another 30 seconds. Again, just to praise this grip a little bit more, I'm able to choke all the way down on it and it doesn't hurt my hands, and it gives me a little bit more to chop with. The Kukri machete, not Kukri machete, excuse me, the Cutlass machete by K-Bar, it really hurt my fingers with that bolt grip. Got a fresh piece of paper. Okay, so it's really starting to become jagged with the point of percussion. I want to try to give it a nice speed cut, see what happens. put some speed behind the cut, it's still reliably cutting. But if you try to slow it down, that's where you want to run into a bit of trouble. I want to go for another 30 seconds. All right, let's see where we're at. There's the snag. Another snag. So if you just, again, speed right through that, it's going to cut very well. Okay, I believe this blade is proven worthy as far as its ability to take shock and also hold an edge. And so at this point, I'm going to go ahead and get out my ceramic and just put an edge back on it, see if I can get those nicks out. Go for the strop. All right. Those nicks are completely removed. Oh, maybe not. Let's do a little bit more ceramic. Get another fresh piece of paper. Okay, I do have to admit that the after the ceramic and after the strop, this thing is still cutting just a little bit jagged. All my other blades so far, after the ceramic and after the strop, it was cutting like new. So maybe that's going to be part of the deal with this. And remember, this is VG1 Semi 3. Is that it's going to hold an edge for a long time, but once it develops a little snag, maybe it's just going to stay with the blade a little bit longer until you get to the house and you're able to sharpen it up a little bit better. That's a pretty good cut right there. Okay, that's a really smooth cut. Okay, so I think I finally got all the nicks out of the blade. Possibly, maybe part of the jagged cuts was just the smear from the tree. But thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm really impressed with the Semi 3 Trailmaster. Thank you.